There's something about Black women over 60. I mean it. There is something about us that nobody can fully explain, and everybody absolutely cannot ignore. We walk into a room and the temperature shifts. We don't just show up, we arrive. We have survived, we have raised families, we have built businesses, we have buried loved ones, we have held communities together with our bare hands, and we have done all of that while still finding a way to smell good and look good doing it. That is not ordinary, that is extraordinary. And yet, somehow, the fashion industry keeps trying to hand us a girdle and tell us to be grateful. No, we are not doing that today. Welcome back to Melanin Majesty, the channel where Black women over 60 come to see themselves celebrated, not corrected. If you are new here, baby, you landed in the right place. I want you to sit down, get comfortable, and get ready, because today we are having a conversation that has been a long time coming. Let me paint you a picture. You have been invited to your niece's wedding. You have already decided on your hat, the one with the wide brim and the silk ribbon. You have your shoes sorted, your bag is coordinated, and then comes the dress. And with the dress comes that old familiar panic. Because somewhere between the mirror and the hangers, a voice creeps in. It whispers things like, "Your belly is too round for that," and "You need to suck it in," and "Maybe just wear something baggy so nobody notices." And before you know it, you are standing in the lingerie section of the store, reaching for something that looks like a medieval torture device wrapped in beige spandex. I have been there, and I am here to tell you we are closing that chapter today. I spent years letting that voice win. I wore girdles to church, to birthday dinners. I wore shapewear to a cookout once and spent 3 hours pretending I was slowly losing circulation in my lower body. And one day I sat down too fast at a restaurant and something in that thing rolled down and I had to excuse myself to the bathroom to rearrange my entire situation in public at 63 years old. That was my last day. I filed for my shapewear divorce and I have never looked back. Today, I am giving you 7 spectacular, show-stopping, turn heads at the reception dresses that naturally, effortlessly, and beautifully work with your body to camouflage the tummy area. No girdle, no spandex prison, no team of assistants required. Just elegance, comfort, and the kind of confidence that Black women over 60 have already earned 10 times over. Let's get into it. Dress number 1. The ruched side gather dress. God's gift to the midsection. Let me introduce you to your new best friend. If you have never intentionally shopped for a ruched dress, you have been leaving style on the table. Here is why this silhouette is pure magic for us. Ruching is the art of gathering fabric into soft, intentional folds, and when that gathering runs along the side of a dress, from the hip all the way down, something almost miraculous happens. All of those soft pleats and folds create texture and movement that the eye simply cannot pin down. There is no flat, smooth surface to settle on. There is no one spot where the fabric stretches tight across your belly, because the fabric isn't meant to be smooth. The bunching is the design. Think about it this way. When you look at a brick wall, your eye can see every bump and imperfection clearly. But when you look at a beautiful tapestry with all of its layers and textures, your eye moves across it and gets lost in the pattern. Ruching does that for your body. What you want to look for, a matte jersey or a viscose blend with the ruching gathered at the side seam, not across the front. The side gather creates the illusion of a waist, while letting the front of the dress fall in a clean, unbroken line over the tummy. Pair this with a scoop neck or a deep V to pull the eye upward toward your face, your collarbones, your smile, exactly where it belongs. Midi length is your power length here, below the knee, above the ankle. It is the sweet spot between sophisticated and sensual. And here's the glorious part. When you sit down at that dinner table and you reach for that second piece of bread, and you should because life is short and bread is a blessing, nothing happens. No zipper trembles, no waistband surrenders. You just sit there looking like royalty, which, let's be honest, is exactly what you are. Dress number 2, the A-line midi in a bold print, because camouflage never looked this fabulous. Black women have always understood the power of a print. It is in our DNA. From African wax fabric to the church mothers in their floral dresses, to Auntie showing up to the family reunion in something that stopped traffic, we have always known that a print is not just decoration. A print is a statement. And when it comes to hiding a tummy, a strategic print is one of the most powerful tools in your entire wardrobe. Here is the style science. When a dress has an all-over bold print, especially one with diagonals, large florals, or abstract patterns, the eye cannot focus on any one area of the body. It is too busy processing the design. Meanwhile, the A-line cut is doing its own quiet work underneath. It fits neatly at the shoulders and the bust, follows the curve of the hip, and then gently flares outward, creating an elegant sweep of fabric that floats completely free of the tummy zone. The A-line does not cling. It does not hug. It does not expose. It simply skims. Like a good compliment, it acknowledges your shape without making it the whole conversation. For fabric, you want a ponte or a medium-weight cotton blend. Nothing too lightweight because thin fabric in a print will still show what it shouldn't when the wind catches it. You need weight. Weight is how the fabric falls with intention instead of settling against your body. A 3/4 sleeve adds a touch of elegance and deals with the arm concern that many of us carry, without you having to think twice about it. Accessorize with gold, a bold cuff, a chunky necklace, or a pair of statement earrings. Against a rich print, gold glows, and so will you. Dress number 3, the Kaftan-style maxi. Ancestral royalty meets modern chic. I need to take a moment here because this dress is not just a style choice. For us as Black women, this is ancestral. The kaftan has roots that run deep through African and diaspora culture. Queens wore kaftans, matriarchs wore kaftans, women of power, women of grace, women who understood that your garment should move with you and honor you, they wore kaftans. And also, it is the single most forgiving silhouette ever designed for the human body. The modern kaftan-style maxi hangs from the shoulders and falls in a dramatic, flowing line all the way to the floor. There is no waistline in this dress, there is no cinch point, there is nothing to cut in or roll down or leave a red mark across your skin by the end of the night. It simply exists in its gorgeous, dramatic fullness, and you exist inside of it, completely free. The secret to making a kaftan look like fashion and not like a cover-up is all in the details. You want structure at the shoulder seam. A defined shoulder keeps the garment looking intentional and not shapeless. Look for side slits that run from the mid-calf upward. A slit does two things. It creates visual length and it shows a flash of leg that is equal parts elegant and intriguing. And a V-neck or a keyhole neckline at the front breaks up the vertical flow of the garment and draws the eye toward your face. For fabric, you want something with movement, rayon, silk charmeuse, or a quality chiffon-lined crepe. Something that flows when you walk, because a kaftan in motion is something else entirely. You don't walk in a kaftan, you glide. And Black women who glide? Unstoppable. Let me stop you right there. A truth we need to talk about. Before we get to dress number 4, I need to address something because I have had too many conversations with too many women who are making this mistake, and it is costing them everything they are trying to gain. When we feel self-conscious about our bellies, our first instinct is to go bigger. We think if we wear something enormous, nobody will see anything underneath all that fabric. So we reach for the oversized tunics, the boxy blouses, the shapeless sack dresses that could shelter a small family of 4. And I understand the impulse, I do. But here is what is actually happening when you do that. You lose your shoulders, you lose your neck, you lose your legs. You stop looking like a woman with a beautiful shape, and you start looking like a piece of furniture with a scarf on top. The excess fabric doesn't hide your body, it replaces it. And when the body disappears, so does the elegance. The goal is never to hide. The goal is to skim. We want fabric that acknowledges the idea of our curves without clinging to every detail. Let me stop you right there. A truth we need to talk about. Before we get to dress number 4, I need to address something, because I have had too many conversations with too many women who are making this mistake, and it is costing them everything they are trying to gain. When we feel self-conscious about our bellies, our first instinct is to go bigger. We think if we wear something enormous, nobody will see anything underneath all that fabric. So we reach for the oversized tunics, the boxy blouses, the shapeless sack dresses that could shelter a small family of 4. And I understand the impulse, I do. But here is what is actually happening when you do that. You lose your shoulders, you lose your neck, you lose your legs. You stop looking like a woman with a beautiful shape, and you start looking like a piece of furniture with a scarf on top. The excess fabric doesn't hide your body, it replaces it. And when the body disappears, so does the elegance. The goal is never to hide. The goal is to skim. We want fabric that acknowledges the idea of our curves without clinging to every detail. A dress that fits your bust and shoulders perfectly and then gracefully floats over the tummy is 1,000 times more flattering than something 3 sizes too big. So if your closet is full of tents right now, I'm giving you permission. No, I'm giving you instructions to let them go. You are not a hiding place. You are a destination. Now let's keep going. Dress number 4, the wrap effect maxi with a fixed skirt. All the drama, all the security. The wrap dress has been celebrated since the 1970s, and for very good reason. That diagonal wrap across the front creates the illusion of a waist on anybody, any body type, any size. The problem, a true wrap dress is basically a liability. The strings come loose, the neckline gaps. You sit down and suddenly the whole situation opens up like a curtain at a theater, at church, at your granddaughter's birthday party, in front of everyone. The wrap effect maxi with a fixed sewn skirt is the solution to all of that drama. This dress gives you every visual benefit of the classic wrap, the diagonal line across the midsection that draws the eye away from the tummy and toward the waist, the flattering V that elongates the neck and chest, the gathered hip detail that creates shape. But the skirt is completely sewn shut. It is not going anywhere. You can sit, you can dance, you can run to catch a taxi, and everything stays exactly where you put it. Now let's talk about what that diagonal line actually does for the tummy area. A straight horizontal seam across your midsection is like a neon sign pointing directly at it. But a diagonal line, that is misdirection. That is a magician's trick. The eye follows the angle and keeps moving, never stopping to settle on any one area. It creates the impression of an hourglass shape because it suggests a transition between the bust and the hip without ever needing to cinch the actual waist. Look for this in a matte jersey or a heavy ITY knit. Both fabrics have enough weight to fall correctly without clinging. Jewel tones are your best colors in this silhouette. Emerald, burgundy, royal purple, cobalt blue. Against our melanin, those colors sing. They do not just complement our skin tone, they elevate it. Choose a low heel or a block-heeled sandal for balance and add just one statement piece of jewelry. The dress is already speaking. You don't need to shout over it. Dress number 5, the structured shirt dress in linen. CEO energy all day long. There is something about a well-tailored shirt dress that communicates a very specific kind of power. Not the power of someone who is trying to impress anyone, The power of someone who woke up, made a decision about who she was today, and dressed accordingly. It is quiet confidence, and quiet confidence is the loudest thing in any room. The shirt dress works for the tummy because it operates on the same principle as a great blazer. The fabric holds its own structure. A good linen shirt dress, especially one in a medium to heavy weight, does not take on the shape of your body. It holds its own shape and your body exists comfortably inside of it. The fabric creates a smooth, uninterrupted line from the collar to the knee, giving the impression of a clean, streamlined silhouette even when the body underneath is anything but linear. Here is the key detail that makes or breaks this look: the belt placement. Do not belt this dress at the natural waist. That is where many women make the mistake. You want to belt it at the high waist, right below the ribs, or skip the belt entirely and leave it to flow. If you are going to use a belt, use a wide one, at least 2 inches, and in a complementary color or a rich neutral like caramel or chocolate brown. A wide belt at the high waist creates a defined silhouette at the narrowest point of your torso and lets everything below it, including the tummy, fall freely beneath it. A shirt dress in linen, ivory, or a deep earth tone works beautifully with white sneakers for a casual daytime look, or with kitten heels and a structured handbag when you need it to do more formal work. Either way, you look like you run things, because you do. Dress number 6. The cold shoulder fit and flare. The head turner. We have arrived at the dress that makes people stop mid-conversation to look at you as you walk in. This is the one, the cold shoulder fit and flare. Now hear me out, because I know cold shoulder can sound like it belongs to a younger woman, like it is a trend that passed us by. But done with the right fabric, the right length, and the right proportions, this silhouette is sophisticated, striking, and absolutely magnificent on women over 60. Here is the anatomy of what makes this dress work for us. The cold shoulder cutout draws the eye immediately to the shoulder and upper arm area. That is a diversion. Every eye that goes to your shoulder is an eye that is not looking at your midsection. It is architectural distraction, and it is brilliant. Meanwhile, the fit and flare structure is doing the real tummy work. It fits through the bust and the rib cage, not the waist, and then flares into a full skirt from the hip. The flare starts just below where most of us carry our extra belly, which means the skirt is already moving outward by the time it reaches that area, creating space and flow instead of tension. For this dress, you need a scuba fabric or a structured crepe, something with body, something that will hold the flare in its correct shape instead of collapsing against your legs. The length should hit just at or slightly below the knee. Any shorter and it tips into casual. Any longer and you lose the dynamic proportion that gives this dress its energy. Wear this in black, in navy, in a deep wine, or be bold and go for a rich cobalt or terracotta. Pair it with a strappy heel, not too high, we are comfortable and we are practical, and a pair of chandelier earrings that catch the light every time you turn your head, which will be often because you are going to be turning heads all evening. Dress number 7, the cape detail evening dress, when you need to be undeniable. We have saved the most extraordinary look for last, and I chose this one to close because it is not just a dress, it is an entrance. The cape detail evening dress features an attached or flowing cape piece at the back or over the shoulders that creates a dramatic, sweeping silhouette as you move. It is the kind of dress that makes people turn around to watch you walk away. And for our purposes today, it is also one of the most intelligent tummy camouflaging silhouettes you will ever put on your body. Here's why. A cape dress creates constant motion around the upper body. As you move, the cape moves with you, behind you, beside you, floating slightly as you walk. That movement keeps the eye perpetually busy and perpetually upward. The eye follows the flow of the fabric rather than settling on the midsection. It's the same principle as a magician who makes big gestures with one hand while doing the actual trick with the other. Your cape is the big gesture. The rest of your body is simply along for the ride. The dress itself, beneath the cape, should be a simple column or a sleek A-line. Clean lines, no extra detail. The cape is the statement. Everything underneath should be smooth and understated, so there's nothing to compete with the drama happening at the top. In a quality crepe or a matte satin, in black, in champagne, and deep plum, this dress commands a room before you even open your mouth. Wear this to the gala, wear it to the anniversary dinner, wear it to your class reunion when you want every woman in that room to lean over and whisper to the person next to her, "Who is she?" You already know who you are. This dress just makes sure everybody else does too. 7 dresses. 7 ways to walk in like you own the room. 0 girdles required. Let me bring it home because I want to make sure this lands the way I intended to. You have spent decades being told by an industry that profits from your insecurities that your body needs correcting. You have been sold contraptions designed to squeeze you into a shape that was never natural or sustainable, told that discomfort is the price of looking beautiful, and convinced that the roundness you carry in your midsection is something to be ashamed of rather than something to be dressed brilliantly. I am done with that narrative, and I hope after today, you are too. Fashion after 60, and especially for us, for Black women who have been told our bodies are somehow too much and simultaneously not enough, fashion is not about hiding, it is about revealing who you truly are. It is about walking in with your shoulders back, your chin up, your dress doing the work that it was designed to do, and your spirit completely unencumbered. Which of these 7 dresses felt like yours? Are you the ruched side-gather woman, quietly sophisticated and effortlessly chic? Or are you the cape detail queen who needs the whole room to feel her presence the moment she arrives? Tell me in the comments below. I genuinely want to know. These conversations are the reason I keep showing up here every week. And if this video gave you something today, some relief, some inspiration, some permission to retire that old beige shapewear for good, please give it a thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds and it helps Melanin Majesty reach more women who need to hear exactly this message. Now, if you are not yet part of the Melanin Majesty family, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications. We are here every week for Black women over 60 who refuse to let anyone, not society, not the fashion industry, not that voice in the mirror, tell them they are anything less than magnificent. This is your space. This is our community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Now go find that dress, wear it without the girdle, and walk into every room like the full and complete blessing that you are. I will see you in the next one. Stay regal, Melanin Majesty.